Meaning of idiom: to play devil's advocate. Someone who plays devil's advocate or the devil's advocate is arguing against a popular or familiar view or simply arguing for the sake of arguing. When you are playing the devil's advocate, you are not actually against the argument you are opposing, but are simply trying to help establish its value by presenting an opposing argument or to help a conversation along. By being the devil's advocate, you are willingly putting forth the devil's point of view, or in other words, the wrong or bad point of view. Examples of use. Judging from their few conversations, John seemed to be completely against Edward's chosen candidate, but when the candidate won, John was just as happy as anyone. It became clear that John had just been playing devil's advocate. I like red as much as the next person, but just to play devil's advocate, let's say we choose a neutral color instead. The 1997 film The Devil's Advocate may be many people's chief exposure to this idiom. However, the film is actually playing on the idiom, not invoking it directly, since the main character played by Keanu Reeves works for a law firm owned by the character played by Al Pacino. This character turns out to be literally the devil. Since another word for lawyer is advocate, Keanu's character was, you got it, the devil's advocate. So clever. This does, however, follow nicely on the origin of this idiom to follow, as an advocate is one who pleads the case of another. Origin of idiom. To play devil's advocate is a very old idiomatic expression stemming from a literal court role in the 14th century. The devil's advocate, or advocatus diaboli, also called promoter of the faith, was a real role in the Roman Catholic Church starting during the late 1500s. This official was the man responsible for opposing the canonization of a saint by presenting views against the candidate, thus advancing the devil's point of view. This process was put in place in 1587 by Pope Sixtus V and used to make sure that the proposed candidate was deserving of sainthood by teasing out any problems with their character or the supposed reasons for their being granted sainthood. If the candidate stood up to all these arguments, they were canonized. This process was abolished by Pope John Paul II in 1983 to make the process of canonization less complex. The devil's advocate passed into general usage as an idiomatic expression in the mid-1700s.